Okay, and we are live. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our viewers all over the world. Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of our Friday Fireside Chat. Today, we are going to be doing something a little different. We are currently in Las Vegas getting prepared for Black Hat 2023. So, this is a really exciting one for us because this time we have a record four trainings happening simultaneously at Black Hat, which is crazy, right? And I'm joined by our CEO, Abhay Bhargav, who is one of the trainers at our flagship course, the Attacking the Application Supply Chain course. So, Abhay, what do you think we can expect to learn from this course? What exactly are we, what can we look forward to? Key takeaways specifically.
Basically, this course is just about epic ponage from start to finish. So, this is all about compromising supply chains, and it starts off with it's basically a journey into the software development life cycle. And in that journey, you will see different parts of the software development life cycle, right from development of code, using of libraries, to using build systems like CI/CD systems, and then deploying that and generating container images out of it, and then deploying that to production environments in Kubernetes or cloud and things like that. So this training takes you through the whole journey and takes you through the whole journey of attacking supply chain elements in each of these phases of the SDLC. So it's a really action packed training. There's a lot of stuff because the reason we came up with this training was that a lot of times supply chain security tends to get a lot of attention, but people don't seem to know what to do about it. People seem to think that, okay, if you just scan a few libraries, it goes away, but it's not really that. So we
Mhm.
wanted to take is the whole offense is the best form of defense route, which is basically learn the offense really well. And if you learn the offense, you can probably do a great job of defense. So that is the route we've taken with this training. And that's why we've built attacking the supply chain. It's all about attacking the supply chain. It's really, as the name suggests, very simple. It's attacking the application supply chain from
Yep.
start to finish. There's no real side agenda here at all. We will be covering a little bit of defense, but defense is not really the area of focus. The focus is all about attacks, attack.
Awesome. So this will be a live session, a live training. It's a 2 day live training, right?
Yeah,
And we're
it's
going to
2 days
be
back
doing.
to back. Actually, it's 4 days. So there's one session on 5th and 6th, and the other session is on 7th and 8th. So it's 2 days, two sessions of 2 days each. So it's essentially 4 days.
Awesome. So, and by the way, guys, these are all going to be hands-on, extremely hands-on, and extremely, in your face sort of courses where you're really going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of the practical elements of each of these topics. So, if that's something that excites you, this is really something you should look forward to. And by the way, all four of these courses do have seats open for registration right now, and we have less than 24 hours for you to get registered. So you should probably do that before time runs out and before seats run out. So all four courses are open for registration. So now
Yeah.
I'd like to call on the next trainer who will be doing the DevSecOps Masterclass course. So can we speak to Vishnu? Hi, Vishnu. So you will be the trainer for our DevSecOps Masterclass, and as a DevSecOps lead, you are probably the most qualified person at V45 to be taking this course. So, how does
Yeah,
it feel? Your first ever Black Hat training?
I feel excited to make a debut training at Black Hat 2023 DevSecOps Masterclass. In this training, basically, we'll be focusing on first legacy SDLC model and how we arrived at Agile, and then we proceeded with DevOps and DevSecOps. Most of the people generally think performing some scans on the source code, third-party dependencies, application URLs, and API endpoints itself is DevSecOps, but that's not the case. We need to have a shift-left approach where we need to have a threat model. Then we need to train the developers, test engineers, everyone regarding the security measures and security postures that need to be managed in an application. Then we need to focus on the SAST part of it, mean where the source code will get scanned with all the tools that is basically required to scan the source code. Then we are focusing on a supply chain where our third party dependencies will be scanned and also will be automated as part of CI/CD pipeline. Then we need to focus on after the build is done, anyway, it will be deployed in staging or UAT or production. We need to focus on scanning those API endpoints, then application URL, so that our production, I mean, the instance that is facing the clients or customers will be secured as well. Then we have a cloud-centric DevSecOps and container-centric DevSecOps as well. So because
Right.
we're going to focus on the hosted environment where we need to host the entire solution as a package by itself, because securing those environments will also generate a fidelity in feedback loop, because it will create more trust on the solution that we are offering or catering to the clients. This is our total agenda for the 4 day session, where we are going to focus on all these aspects. Then we are going to discuss extensively related to Kubernetes DevSecOps, because it's not only about deployment, it's all about orchestration as well, because nowadays the load has increased, the number of users and number of instances of an application is increased. So this load balancing infrastructure like Kubernetes is also to be emphasized, where it need to be secured. How the Kubernetes environment need to be secured is also should be focused on. So we're going to cover this as well as part of our 4 days training.
Awesome. So this sounds like a really intensive, hardcore, like because it's a 4 day training. So we're going to be covering a lot of topics as Vishnu just explained, and it's going to be really, interesting, and we're going to cover so much and so do so many different hands-on sessions with like labs and all of that. So this
Yeah,
is going to be one of our best-selling courses for the last, I don't know, 5 years or so. So this
yeah,
is something you should definitely sign up for if DevSecOps and security automation is your thing. So thank you so
lot
much,
of
Vishnu.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
great. Awesome. So next we will be looking at the our next course, which is attacking and defending AWS, Azure, and GCP applications. So can we have our next trainer on, please? Hey there, Rajesh. Your course is going to be all about cloud security, right? And as the senior cloud security engineer, this is going to be your forte. So can you tell me a little bit about what we'll be learning in this course?
Talking about attacking and defending AWS, Azure, and GCP cloud applications, we'll be getting started with, we are following an approach in a way, we'll attack the stack. Once we attack the stack, we will perform some detect techniques. Once we go through the detect techniques, then we will be finally deploying a stack in which secure enough in a defense way. This is the approach that we'll be following for all three clouds. It is Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and GCP Cloud Platform. This is the approach that we are following, in which instead of going through a concept specific, here we are taking like here we are trying the 4 days with some sort of stories. Each story, like within the story, we'll cover a lot of security specific topics, starting with an legacy of an EC2. Then we'll be moving towards serverless applications. We'll be deploying one more stack, one more story on AWS Lambda. Finally, we have one more story covering GitHub Actions, which will try to attack GitHub Actions. From there, we'll get the credentials. From there, we'll try to take over the AWS account. This is something we have in AWS. Talking about Azure, in Azure we'll be trojanize a container. From there,
Mhm.
trojanizing the container. Once we trojanize a container, pretty much we are trojanizing the image. Once we trojanize the image, whoever deploys that image within a virtual machine scale set will get full access to the virtual machines, whatever the stacks whatever the VMs that running as part of their Azure account. Similarly, we'll be going with the same approach we'll be following for the GCP.
Okay, that sounds really cool actually, because we are basically going to be doing like an attack, detect, and defense sort of, the whole, all the way from attacking all the way to defense, right? So this is going
Yes,
to be a really interesting course. And how many days is this course going to be, Rajesh?
this is a 4 day course starting on August 5th, which will end on 8th of August.
Okay, that's awesome. So this is going to be another one of those really intensive courses. And I think this is probably the first time we're doing this course at a Black Hat, right?
Yes, this is successor of AWS Purple team.
Right. Okay. That sounds great. Thanks so much for this, Rajesh. This was really interesting. And I would like to call on our next guest, Ganga Sumant, who will be talking about his next course. Hey there, Ganga. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. So your training is going to be a virtual one this time, right?
Yep.
So can you tell me a little bit about what your course is and some key takeaways?
Yeah, sure. So this time I'll be training a course called DevSecOps Masterclass, the AppSec Automation Edition.
Right.
And I can sum it down to these 3 points. Point one, we will be exploring battle tested application security automation techniques that can seriously level up your security game for modern applications. We will talk about secure defaults, various stages at which security can be implemented, and how we can integrate and deploy developer friendly stacks. Secondly, we will dive into the world of security automation using real life examples and stories for dynamic and static application security testing, source composition analysis, and we'll also talk about secret management. We will talk about a wide variety of open source security frameworks and mitigation strategies that were used to answer problems that could also be shared with your stack. Finally, we will talk about secret management, and the use of crypto libraries is often like juggling chainsaws in the dark. And we want you to learn how to do that properly in your CI CD pipelines. You'll also learn to generate and manage software bill of materials for transparency and compliance purposes. We'll break all of this down and equip you with easy to implement frameworks to make your development environment a lot more secure.
Awesome. That sounds great. In fact, I think this is kind of like a condensed version of Vishnu's course, which is the full 4-day DevSecOps masterclass. Whereas yours
Definitely.
is, I believe, it's a 2-day course, right?
Correct. This is a 2-day course, and it does share quite a lot of elements with the 4-day masterclass. In
Right.
in this section, however, we will focus on the automation part of things,
Mm-hmm.
and we will be a lot more hands-on, and we will concentrate on how to bring all of this technology into your stack and to get your hands dirty as quickly as possible.
That sounds great, man. So I want our viewers to remember that even if you guys aren't attending Black Hat in person, you can always sign up for our virtual trainings. The previous one and this one are both virtual courses, so you can definitely sign up for those and get a great hands-on experience with AppSec Engineer. That brings us to the end of this live session. Thank you so much, guys, for being there and giving us the lowdown on all of your courses that you'll be taking. Remember, guys, you have less than 24 hours to sign up for these because we are running out of seats and running out of time. So better grab those, get registered and grab those seats before time runs out. All right.
Awesome.
So thanks so much
Anish,
for being here. I'll see you guys.
thanks
See
for
you guys
having
at
me
Black
here.
Hat, and make sure to meet us at our booth and just like drop in and say hi to us if you're attending in person. All right.
Definitely. Go say hi to Anish.
Yes. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.